Good morning, Reformation Lutheran Church and School. This is Miss Jen reporting from the RLCS newsroom. We have breaking news of wild and wonderful animals from the ocean. And guys, I promised last time that I would have my producer and all my staff make sure all of our guests are here, and they're all here. I'm so sorry about what happened earlier, but it's not going to happen again. In fact, here's our first guest. Now, might be scary for some viewers, but I promise you everything will be okay. Here's our first guest. Do you know what it is? It's a great white. Here's a close-up of someone took of it. Ooh, I don't want to be near that. Great white sharks can be found throughout the world's oceans, mostly in cool waters close to the coast. These super swimmers are the largest predatory fish on our planet. That means fish that eat other fish or animals. On average, they grow to around 15 feet long, but some great whites have been measured at 20 feet. That's half the length of a bus. Though massive, the great white is not the biggest shark. The biggest shark is the whale shark, which is not considered a predatory fish. Great white sharks are gray with a white underbelly, from where they get their name. They have a streamlined shape and powerful tails that propel them through the water at over 37 miles per hour. Any creature unlucky enough to find itself in the mouth of a great white is in for a nasty shock, because this marine beast's mouth is equipped with a set of 300 sharp triangular teeth arranged in up to 7 rows. Yikes! While many think of these beasts as fearsome man-eaters, humans aren't on the great white's menu. Phew! There are around 5 to 10 great white shark attacks a year. Researchers believe that rather than preying on humans to eat them, the sharks are instead taking a sample bite out of curiosity before swimming off. It's kind of like they're trying to see if they're going to like the taste or not. Luckily, so far, they haven't liked our taste. Let's make sure it stays that way. So what do they eat? Well, when they're young, they feed on small prey such as fish and rays. But when they're older and bigger, they generally feast on sea mammals such as sea lions, seals, and small whales. Great white sharks have such a strong sense of smell that they can detect a colony of seals 2 miles away. And check this out. If there was only 1 drop of blood in 100 liters of water, a great white would smell it. Whoa, that's crazy incredible. When a great white gives birth, she usually has 2 to 10 youngsters called pups. But she shows no care for her offspring. In fact, she may even try and eat them. Whew, I'm glad I'm not a great white shark baby. That's not a very nice mommy, is it? Taking care of themselves, the newborn pups will immediately swim off into the ocean. Wow, that was a lot of information, and I'm glad you don't try and attack us, but I think I'm still going to stay away from you. I hope you don't mind that. Thanks for coming in. Well, we do have our next guest in the studio as well, so let's check out our next guest. Ooh, you guys know what this is? Here we go. It is a spotted grouper, and here's a close-up of one of them. There are many species in the grouper family. Spotted groupers usually have white, black, or orange spots to blend in with their environment. Groupers typically have a stout body and a large mouth. They are not built for long distance or fast swimming. They can be quite large, and lengths of over 3 feet and weighing up to 220 pounds are not uncommon. The spotted grouper prefers a diet of meaty foods such as krill, shrimp, and other small fish. They swallow prey whole rather than biting pieces of it off. They don't have many teeth on the edges of their jaws, but they have heavy crushing tooth plates inside the pharynx. They habitually eat fish, octopus, and crustaceans. Some species prefer to ambush their prey, while other species are active predators. Some groupers are so huge that when they open their mouths to feed, they create a suction that is powerful enough to inhale the small prey. In addition to their possible great size, another defense that some groupers have is the ability to change the color of their skin. Sometimes this color change is simple, such as turning from dark to light in order to blend in with the varying levels of light. They are born in mature females, but can change their sex when needed to aid in reproduction. Since they tend to live in groups ranging from 3 to 15 males to 1 male, a female could convert herself to a male so that mating habits don't have to suffer. Groupers have been estimated to live as long as 50 years old. Wow, I wish it would be that easy for me to change my skin so I could hide a little bit better. But at the same time, I know that God made me just the way I'm supposed to be, and God made you just the way you're supposed to be. That's still pretty cool. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh, we might have another familiar face for you guys. Let's see if you can recognize this one. Do you know what it is? It's a butterfly fish, and here's a close-up of one. There are 120 species of butterfly fish that can be found in the tropical and subtropical regions of the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans. Butterfly fish are mostly 5 to 9 inches in length. Most species of the butterfly fish live near the coral reefs, which serve as hiding places from predators and as a source of food. The butterfly fish is an omnivore. That means it eats meat and plants. It eats different types of algae and seaweed, worms, small crustaceans, and zooplankton. Butterfly fish is named that way because of the attractive coloration of their body. They can be black, orange, yellow, red, silver, and white in some species in color with different kinds of spots and patterns on their body. Although some species are dull colored, most wear intricate patterns with striking backgrounds of blue, red, orange, or yellow. Many have dark bands across their eyes and round dot-like eyes on their flanks to confuse predators as to which end to strike and in which direction they're likely to flee, to run away from. The color of a butterfly fish looks different at night than it does during the day. Many species of the butterfly fish have the black stripes. Man, my copy editor. Ugh. Okay. The butterfly fish has flattened disc-shaped body. It has a round tail and uninterrupted dorsal fin. Another interesting feature on the body is its elongated nose. It helps the fish to reach the food from the crevice of the rocks. Butterfly fish are diurnal animals. That means they're active during the day and sleep at night. They take a rest in the corals and rock crevices during the night. Most butterfly fish live in larger groups called schools. The average lifespan of the butterfly fish in the wild is 7 years. They live between 8 to 10 years in captivity. And you might have seen a butterfly fish also in Finding Nemo. Thanks for stopping by. It was great learning all about you and all of your friends. Who knew there were so many friends that you had? Well, it's time for our next guest. And here it is. Here's our guest. Do you know what it is? It's called, there we go, a parrotfish. And here are some different striped parrotfish. Parrotfish are very colorful. Their name comes from the parrot-like beak formed by their teeth. The beak also allows it to scrape off pieces of coral and other food. They also have inner teeth that crush the food once it's in its mouth. They live in shallow tropical and subtropical oceans around the world. Their numbers are largest in the Indo-Pacific region. They mostly live in coral reefs and seagrass beds. The green bumphead parrotfish is the largest type of parrotfish, growing past 4 feet in length and in excess of 100 pounds. Parrotfish use their paired set of pectoral fins primarily to swim, with an occasional flick of the tail fin for a burst of speed. Parrotfish can turn 1 ton of coral into sand in a year. The fish eat algae that grow on coral rock, munching pieces of coral in the process. The coral is ground and digested, resulting in fine sand particles as it exits the parrotfish's body. In plain terms, the powdery white sand that beach bums love to sprawl on might actually be parrotfish poop. Whoops! Who knew? The most fascinating parrotfish behavior relates to its homemade nightgown. Some species of parrotfish are able to encapsulate themselves, that means wrap themselves up, in a cocoon of mucus at night. Ew. Scientists believe that this bubble might protect the fish from predators, such as eels and sharks, by masking its scent. Others think it might work as a protective mechanism, giving the sleeping fish a heads up when a predator has penetrated the cocoon. Wow, who knew there were so many cool things about you? And I don't want to be near you when you're sleeping because that just sounded gross, but I'm glad you have a way to protect yourself. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, friends, we have one more guest in our studio, and here it is. Woo. Gotta be careful not to squish it. So small. Put it right here where we can see it. And here is a close-up of our bicolor cherubfish. The bicolor cherubfish is also known as the bicolor angelfish or the blue and gold angelfish. The bicolor angelfish inhabits lagoons, channels, and protected seaward reef slopes, including drop-offs and environments filled with corals or rubble. It lives alone, in pairs, or in small groups and is known to quickly swim from one protective crevice to another. It is rarely found far from a suitable hiding spot. The largest bicolor angelfish is 6 inches long. They can live to be 6 to 10 years old. In the wild, the bicolor angelfish feeds on algae, worms, and small crustaceans. Bicolor angelfish tend to be moderately aggressive, both to members of other species and members of their own species, even their own group. That's not very kind. The male spends most of his time guarding his territory from predators, intruding members of other species, but mostly against another group of angelfish. Females are only aggressive towards lower-ranking members of their own group in order to maintain their current rank. Wow, that's some pretty cool stuff about you, but I think you should learn to be nicer and not pick on your friends so much, okay? Thanks for stopping by, though. Well, that's all from this segment and this week. I hope you enjoyed learning all about the different habitats and some of the animals that live in them. This is Miss Jen reporting from the RLCS Newsroom. May God bless you and your family. Have a great weekend.